Deputy Constable Christine Kendrick is following up on a call. She's heading to a house where a woman is hoarding snakes. There are 15 in total that are being kept in cramped and dirty conditions, including an aggressive 10-foot reticulated python.
Every time we've been here, everything is just borderline. And so we haven't been here for a while, and she's not expecting us today. So I think today we're going to see the truth.
Make sure we get proper bang for our buck on this thing.
Animal cruelty investigator Octavio Gonzalez and Dr. Cheryl Hoggard from the Houston SPCA meet Kendrick at the property, alongside Kendrick's supervisor, Sergeant Mosier.
You remember my sergeant?
Yes, hi.
I'm gonna take
The owner will not allow anyone in the house except the investigators. Once inside, the team quickly discovers this is not going to be a straightforward case.
These are the big ones in here, Dr. Hoggard. And there is one loose, and he is really grumpy today.
Oh, yeah, watch out. He is a biter.
I'll jump in front of you if he comes out. I mean, how does he get out of that enclosure? What does he do?
I was actually changing his water, and I was in here, and he's quick throwing my claw.
Okay. And then the boa was back behind there.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that Dr. Hoggard's really concerned with.
He's the one that had the injury, but he's healing well.
Goodness. All right, I'm gonna close this so he... My Lord, it's too hot.
Conditions have deteriorated. Dr. Hoggard is convinced quick action is necessary.
So do we need to take those animals or not?
It was sweltering in there, and although they're in very humid, hot environments naturally, there was no air circulation in there, and so I don't think there's no way for them to get away from the heat and get into a cooler place. With that, you worry about not only just their overall well-being, their hydration status, their ability to shed appropriately. We also worry about things like respiratory infections. And a few of those snakes are going to stay small, but a few of them are going to get bigger.
Snakes to not be in their environment.
After consulting with Dr. Hoggard and her supervisor, Sergeant Mosier, Kendrick decides the snakes and the owner are in danger.
She says that the enclosures are entirely too small for these snakes.
That's what I figured.
She's concerned there's one, a reticulated python that she believes is very dehydrated, and so I mean it's my opinion that we seize.
Just let me know when and
Okay.
what time.
All right. Oh, we'll go back to the shelter and start make arrangements.
I can tell him to be on work tomorrow.
Yeah, because they got to build an enclosure and everything for that big one. Those two big ones.
Oh yeah.
So, okay.
Good
All right.
work.
Thanks. I think she loves the snakes. I mean, she seems to really care for them. She's had some of them for an extended period of time, but at the same time, she's very fearful of some of them. You know, the larger the snake, the more fear you can see from her, and so we'll be back tomorrow with a warrant and remove these snakes from this property.
Now that the ownership of the snakes has been resolved, Dr. Hoggard can continue assessing them. They're all readjusting to their new environments and getting the proper housing and food they needed. One snake came into the care of his previous owner with a very old injury, a badly broken back. X-rays have been taken, and now her long-term future can be assessed.
The radiographs look really bad. This is a horrible injury that she sustained, and it's been a very long time since it occurred. I mean, maybe I can see like a hatchet doing that because it looks like it's been almost severed, you know. She is able to move behind this area, so she has some voluntary movement back there. She's able to eliminate waste products, the urates and feces. She's able to eliminate that. So that's a good sign, and it just goes to show you how remarkable these creatures actually are and how they can recover from such horrible injuries and trauma.
Dr. Hoggard has established the snake is healthy enough to be handled, so she wants to take a closer look.
You can see that she has a couple abrasions on the tip of her nose, and she was the one who was free roaming, so I suspect it's just from where she had been trying to get out of her cage and everything. This is where the vertebra the backbone is fractured. And it actually, if you feel of it, it extends. It's very hard back here, so it actually affected some of the ribs too. She does have use of her tail. She can move her tail, you see, independently, but she does have a hard time eliminating waste products, so we have to help her with that. She's been doing good to cope with it, I think, as good as she has. She's very active, actually. She is going to have special care for the rest of her life, though. Somebody who understands snakes and somebody who can take a lot of special precautions with her to make sure that, that everything's going okay.
All the snakes will be a challenge to rehome. Their injuries, along with their potential to cause harm, means they'll need expert care. "15 snakes that were seized over a month ago from a hoarder's house are now living at the Reptile and Small Animal Rescue Sanctuary in Missouri City, Texas.
All right, let's get this one out, the broken back.
Today, Kim Ellis has an appointment with veterinarian Beth Rodney to discuss their progress.
You want to get the back side?
Still a little underweight. Looks
So how much
good.
do you think she should weigh if she was optimum weight?
35, maybe, don't you think?
Yeah.
No infection. She does have good color. So we have an old injury. It's certainly not something I would expect to see in a snake. So I do think it looks traumatic.
When I first saw it, is she able to get the stool past this point? And apparently when she was in the bathtub, she was able to, so that's a good sign.
Her scales have improved dramatically and she looks really good. But so you're improving the humidity and keeping the appropriate temperatures really made a big difference.
Conditions for these snakes, it's very important for their health and to keep them a long time. They require a lot of humidity. They require a lot of place to swim. These are swimmers, so they really need to have access to a pool or the size of a baby pool or a bathtub at all times so they can spend their time in the water. It's where they feel safe. He is not a happy camper.
Safety is paramount while taking care of snakes.
All right.
The one named Diablo is aggressive and is showing no signs of calming down.
Hear him hissing.
Diablo will need a very special handler, but Kim is optimistic she'll find him the right home.